Yes, sir. Today is a blessed day. A blessed day it is indeed. Good morning, 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 good morning. About to get to it, man. We here. Day 22. Day 22. We at day 22. Day 22 on this spiritual journey. Getting this wisdom. Grinding, man. Getting to the spot. It's been a great ride. Great run. We here. So we on Proverbs 22. We still tapping in with, conduct in life, our behavior, and how it having this new way of thinking, this new wisdom, this new renewed mind, and how it creates a different perspective, creates actually a new reality for our life. So getting this word is helping us make better decisions, having more clarity. We transitioning, we ascending, we going to the next level. All right, and that's just what it's doing for us, and we getting closer to understanding God, getting the wisdom to operate in righteousness, love and joy and peace and patience. So God be the glory, man. Thankful for another day that God has made, another day that we can rejoice and be glad in it, another day of peace, another day of family, loved ones, and just opportunities that await us this morning, this day. You know what I'm saying? So we in Proverbs 22, chapter 22, and we still, like I said, we on life and conduct, man. Like our conduct, the way we carry ourselves, the way we talk, the way we speak, what we believe, what we declare. Yesterday we tapped in on it, had a great session, and we're gonna have the same one today. I hope y'all day was blessed yesterday, but today gonna be even better. And just having that mindset that every day is another day to be great. No matter how much yesterday might have not been, yesterday is no longer in existence, but today is right now. So we're gonna get to it. Chapter 22, verse 1 says, a good name is to be more desired than great wealth. Favor is better than silver and gold. The rich and poor have a common bond. The Lord is the maker of them all. So one thing that we can come together on, whether you rich or whether you poor, whether you have a lot or don't have a lot, the thing is that we can all agree that God is the maker, the ordainer, and the orchestrator of them all. Verse 3 says, the prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the naive go on and are punished for it. So we remember what is the prudent? The prudent, good morning, cuz. Love you. God bless you. Appreciate you, man. Like every time I see you pull up, I'm like, there's cuz. You know what I'm saying? It's as though like you really hear or something. But God bless you, man. We on verse 3. It says, the prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the naive go on and are punished for it. And we know what the prudent is, right? The prudent is the one who is cautious in the decisions that they make. They really think about it. They really ponder on it, and they really want to acknowledge God in every decision. So the prudent is able to recognize and see evil or see deception or see a trap. And they hide themselves from it, meaning that they remove themselves from what can create a negative result. But it says the naive, the gullible one, the person who's asleep, the person who doesn't want to gain or have a desire for understanding, the person who doesn't trust God, but they trust their own insight. It says that they go on. It's like if they see a prize and there's like a lot of pitfalls, there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of consequences that come with it, but they just still feel like it's worth it. It says they'll go on. They'll just go do it. But the result is they'll be punished for it, meaning that those consequences are going to be in effect. Verse 4, the reward of humility and the fear of the Lord. So remember we said there are rewards in wisdom. So there is a reward in humility and the fear of the Lord, which are three things that we covered yesterday: honor, life, and riches. So the reward of humility, when we humble ourselves, when we acknowledge God, when we become less so that he become more, just having that servant mentality, that love mentality, that giving mentality. It says when we have that humility and then the fear of the Lord, where we reverence God and we just respect and realize that without God, without his son, Jesus Christ, without that relationship, that we don't have nothing, we don't have anything at all. But when we have that understanding, that mindset, we obtain riches, honor, and life. Verse 5, thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards himself will be far from them. So when you look at thorns and snares, those are like, pain, suffering, dry seasons, lack of producing fruit. It just robs you. So people that are perverse in their thinking, in their ways, they produce nothing but just decay and cavity. And the one who guards himself, who's always on alert, sober-minded. When I say sober-minded, just always making sure that what you putting in is wholesome things, what you putting in is honorable things, and then that's what you'll put out. And you'll be far from those things that want to destroy you, those things that you can even do to destroy yourself. We get in the way of God, we get in the way of our destiny, we get in the way of our purpose. We make decisions that limit our ability to produce excellent results. So when we guard ourselves, when wisdom establishes us, when God's word order our steps, then it keeps us from those things that are designed or created to destroy us. Verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So when we raise our kids with at least a godly principle, a godly mindset, when you just raise your kids and just godliness in general, to have respect, even when they make decisions, because they're gonna make, we all done it, gonna make decisions that we wasn't taught to make, but because of that training, that instruction, they'll never depart. Same as like with me, my mom, my dad, church mothers, they all prayed for me. And even though I went astray and was, in the streets and was doing all this other stuff, like, I never departed. I found my way back. Verse 7, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower becomes the lender's slave. So that's facts. That's a real thing. The rich does rule over the poor. Whoever has more than the next, they have power over them. But what that's really saying is, don't owe nobody, but just to love them. Don't put yourself in situations or circumstances to where you constantly borrowing. I mean, that could even just be a financial proverb, just a financial thing, when taking out loans or, putting yourself in situations where you got to borrow, because whoever you borrow from, whoever you ask, and depending on what it is that you're getting, you'll become, they'll have something over you. They'll have something over you. They'll build a rule over you. So you will become slave to the lender. That's why we try to keep ourselves above financially, and even just in people who you invest your time with, who you invest your energy in. You know what I'm saying? We never put ourselves in a situation where we become, a slave to whoever has lent us anything. Because it just only keeps you in a trap. It keeps you in a bind. Verse 8, he who sows iniquity will reap vanity, and the rod of his fury will perish. And we're still looking at conduct in life. So these are still conducts that we are looking at and examining and wanting to add to our life, because we want our behavior to be reflection of our lifestyle. Verse 9, he who is generous will be blessed, for he gives some of his food to the poor. Verse 10, drive out the scoffer, and contentions will go out, even strife and dishonor will cease. So when we're able to get rid of foolishness, when we're able to get rid of negativity, the contentions, the bickering, the complaining, the negativity, all that will cease. Verse 11, he who loves purity of heart and whose speech is gracious, the king is his friend. So when our motives are pure, when our thoughts are excellent, when our words bring and speak life, and when our speech is gracious, when we speak excellent things, then the king is our friend. It's saying like you just find favor with man, you find favor with God, you find favor with people, you find favor with organizations, like, because you attract it. We are what we attract. So when we constantly speaking and having gracious words toward people, and a gracious attitude, and an attitude of gratitude and thankfulness, then we attract. My bro, Alicia, what's going on, brother? Love you, G. God bless you. Thanks for tapping in, bro. We attract favor. There's rewards in anything that is wholesome. There's always rewards. It don't always got to be financial or material. You know what I'm saying? But there's just rewards and just, being a reflection of Christ. So the more that we love God's word, the more that we love just the whole idea and concept of Jesus, the more it's then trickled down and is shown toward other people. And the more we show that love, the more we're gracious, the more we lend, the more we offer truth, then the more we receive that what we put out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what God's word and wisdom and understanding the fear of the Lord, it can bring you nothing but just rewards, man. You know what I'm saying? And it just be rewards that you never had a clue that you would be receiving. Verse 12, the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the treacherous man. So remember that when we speak truth, the Lord will preserve it. When we have the knowledge of God in the most simply, like, it's not like this grand scientific, like just great, but when we have that just simple knowledge of the Lord and reading his word, like, he preserves that knowledge. So what I'm saying is, like, you face situations and scenarios, and the Holy Spirit will bring to your remembrance what and how to operate in that. And now you're able to have better results in your lifestyle because your conduct is different. But notice it says he overthrows the words of the treacherous man. So like I said yesterday, life and death lie. Life and death is success or failure, riches or poverty is in the power of your tongue. Like, your mouth dictates the course of your life. So you speak truth, you'll live in truth. You speak falsehood, it won't be preserved. God overthrows it. Verse 13, the sluggard says, there is a lion outside, I will be killed in the streets. And this is all still back on yesterday. Laziness, procrastination kills. It is a killer. Putting things off, being dependent upon somebody else to give you drive, to give you motivation, not doing the appropriate things to set yourself up. We look at the ant. The ant is not a sluggard. The ant grinds and grinds and grinds all summer, no days off, so that when winter come, everything is accounted for. So when it says the sluggard says there is a lion outside, I will be killed in the streets, what it's saying is that I'm so lazy, I see a trap, I see a pitfall, and I just ain't even gonna do nothing about it, but just fall into it. It's gonna hurt me, it's gonna harm me, you know what I'm saying? So we have to remember that I gotta be diligent, man. We gotta be diligent in our pursuits. What's going on, Janika? Appreciate you for tapping in. God bless you. Love you. So, you know, Proverbs and his wisdom will help us, you know, unlazy some of those things that we're lazy in, that we real lax in, that we, you know, that we don't have a sense of urgency in. Like, we need to have, like, if you want your, you know, we don't let life happen to us, but we make life happen for us. And only lazy people continue to let life happen to them. And, like, they just won't do nothing about it. But now that we understand that diligence, you know, brings rewards, a slack hand brings poverty, but a diligent hand, a hand that works, presses forward, that brings prosperity, that brings blessings, that, you know, that is what then gets us closer to the prize. Verse 14, the mouth of an adulteress is a deep pit. He who is cursed of the Lord will fall into it. So if you cursed, if you speak cursings, you speak perverseness, your conduct is wicked, it's evil, then it says that you will fall into that very thing. You will become the negativity that you put out. So we just really just want to shape our lives, man, to just be like in this constant just state of awareness, this constant state of God first, this constant state of thankfulness, purity, speaking life, forgiving people, and just having the complete joy of the Lord, which then becomes your strength. It's what your foundation is, what you know what I'm saying? It will be your backing. So then when you have that, you'll have situations that come up that you will not only be prepared for and be ready for, but one that you'll be able to like maneuver and, you know what I'm saying, be able to respond. You know what I'm saying? It's like we just, our life, our soul is being shaped, and we just becoming more and more Christ-like minded. You see what I'm saying? To where nothing can shake us, nothing can, you know, make us fall. Like now we just building this foundation, this whole foundation on God, which, you know what I'm saying, that is what our foundation should be on, because that is a steady foundation. That's a concrete foundation. That's why it says like the Lord will order our steps. We will be concrete. Our ways will be established. You know what I'm saying? Like our steps will be ordered. So verse 15, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline will remove it far from him. So when God corrects us, when God instructs us, when God removes the error, then that foolishness, that foolish thinking, immature thinking, wrong decision making, like that stuff will just constantly be removed out of your mindset, out of your spirit. Verse 16, he who oppresses the poor to make more for himself, or who gives to the rich, will only come to poverty. Verse 16, read that again. He who oppresses the poor to make more for himself, or who gives to the rich, will only come to poverty. And that's just like, just very factual. And when you look at the poor, like we talked about yesterday, we're not talking about just somebody who's like homeless, or we're talking about people who just lack certain things or deficient in certain areas. And if we use that as an advantage, or we try to use that to gain on the at the expense of the other person, or if we give to the, you know, only pour into those things that, you know, it's like, say a person who does things that goes against some of our moral clauses or something like that, but only because we see how it brings them honor, or it brings them riches, or it brings them, you know, power, prestige. What it's saying is that if we operate in that way, then we only bring up on more poverty upon ourselves. You know, if we devalue other people and we invest in others who devalue things and our integrity is limited, then we only come into poverty. You know, we only bankrupt ourselves, and we bring dishonor and we bring shame to not only God but to ourselves. So constantly just having that mindset that, like, you know, balance. Remember, we seen that the Lord loves a balanced scale. You know, you can't be too hot in one area and then be lukewarm in another and expect the same results. Like, God likes a balance. So we want our life to be more balanced. Verse 17 says, incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge. So the Lord's saying, like, apply our mind to his knowledge. We're going to get this earthly knowledge, like, because we in the earth, like, we dwell in the earth. We going to get, but we want to apply God's knowledge because that's supreme. This knowledge can't be stripped, can't be taken away. You can't be robbed of. It can't steer you in the wrong way. And it only helps you make better decisions in your day-to-day life. So we need to apply what we read, apply what is being planted in here so that we be a reflection of it. And then again, it then matches our conduct in our life. So it's like, I mean, just think the more and more we get this wisdom and this knowledge, this understanding and this insight in godly thinking, godly behavior, the more we just only make our life that much more just complete and fulfilled. And when we faced with just like right now, I'm just like even just thinking and just some of the things that I've been thinking on and the decisions and the questioning, and it's like it's even just making me more aware that, like, dang, let me apply what I'm reading just in this scenario. And then you won't reason with yourself. You won't have those conversations with yourself to convince you that what you know you shouldn't even be contemplating won't even become a burden to you. You know, like sometimes we can entertain a thought so much and you know, entertain negativity or whatever. We can entertain it so much that then we reason and then we convince ourselves to do it, and then it's like wisdom done just been shut out. Everything that we've built has just been slowly and surely destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? It's better to get little by doing what's right than to amass a lot and get the results of what you did that was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff speak to you, man. Like, it speak to me. So continuing from verse 17, so it says, because verse 17 and 18, it's really like all one thing. So let me read that again. It says, incline your ear and hear the words of the wise. So this is like hearing the word of the wise, hearing God speak, and apply it to our mind. Apply your mind to my knowledge. For then here's a promise, here's a reward. So then it says, it will be pleasant if you keep them within you. Then it says that they may be ready. Like, I always put myself in the scripture, like when I read. So I always say, like, me, I speak like this is me, this is you. So when I read it, it says, for it will be pleasant if I keep it within me, that I may be ready, that it may be ready on my lips. Really being ready for whatever may come. You'll have an answer to whatever may come. And what I mean by the answer is you'll have a solution. So when a situation arises, when a scenario arises, when a circumstance arises, when a conflict arises, or even when something promising arises, something good arises, something, you know, that comes your way, a new opportunity, what happened is that we will be ready for it. It'll be we'll have an answer. We'll have a response that will match whatever it is that's coming our way. And we will receive, we will overcome, we will, you know what I'm saying, persevere, we will get the reward, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying. We will just be able to know how to handle, know how to, you know, maneuver. I say finesse, not finesse. Well, I mean, sometimes a finesse is good. You know, there can be good finesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as the motive is pure. That's the thing that we just really want to just have, just more pure motives, more just wholesome thoughts. Verse 19, so that your trust may be in the Lord. So that's what we ultimately want to do. We want to build up enough faith to where our trust is ultimately just in God. Our trust is on the Lord and in the Lord. And the only way that we get to know and trust God more is understanding who God is and what He about. And then when we have prayers and we have petitions that do get answered, that God does answer, then it makes the relationship that much more impactful. Like I've prayed on some things and I have gotten them, and some I haven't. But I realize in the ones that I haven't, it comes to pass like, oh, this is why that didn't, or this is why God kept me from that person or this situation or going that route or moving here or taking this job. Like God also show you, you know what I'm saying, the results of obedience. Like this is what you avoided. This is what you were kept from. Verse 20 says, have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, to make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may correctly answer him who sent you. So what this scripture is saying is that, you know, God has given us excellent things. He's given us a creative, powerful mind. Hey, what's up, Candace? God bless you. Thank you for tapping in. Sending good energy, good vibes. We're just getting in this word, getting our day started on both right sides. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you for coming in. Pray that you have a blessed day, a very, very blessed day. So when it says in verse 20, have I not written to you excellent things? This word is excellent because it prepares us. It gives us an answer. You know what I'm saying? And it's of counsel, of knowledge. And what is it? Why? So that we know the certainty of the words of truth. So when we continue to feed ourselves more truth, continue to feed ourselves more knowledge, more understanding, then we able to see and discern and like cancel out lies and things that aren't factual. You know what I'm saying? And then we live in our truth and we become our truth. And then we're rewarded with it by being able to have an answer when something false comes our way, or when deceit or deception, and even being able to hear when even our own selves is trying to deceive us and getting in the way of God and getting in the way of what He has for us, because our flesh has a different design, different motive. So we want to be able to have an answer when those challenging times arise, or when it's time to make a move and when not. Verse 22 says, do not rob the poor because he is poor, or crush the afflicted at the gate, for the Lord will plead their case. Basically saying like God is always going to defend those who are defenseless. You know, so when you see a defenseless situation or person, it ain't the best time to then capitalize on it. Like, we changing our DNA anyway. So if we see somebody that's defenseless, then should we trying to be their offense? Same as with us. When we find ourselves in defensive situations, we want somebody to be our offense. And then when we have God, though, who's our rock, who's our strength, who's our joy, our peace, then what happens is He gives us the know-how and to come up out of that and to overcome and to conquer. And that all starts with your thoughts and with your words. So if you know, like I said yesterday, overwhelm yourself with optimism. You see a negative situation, speak life over it. No matter how much it look, man, I'm telling you, like, when we trust God with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding, God provides a way out of every situation. And not only as an escape, but that escape is into success. That escape is into blessings. That escape is into prosperity. It's into answers. It's into knowledge. It's into more wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Like, God is always on the going up, always productive. There's got to be like always, it got to make sense. So it's like if I have a problem and I'm running from it, it don't do me any justice to run from it and not know where I'm going with it, because the problem ain't just going to keep following me. But I run with that problem to God, then God then becomes my shield, and I'm able to look at that problem, and then the Lord is able to show me, here's the problem, here's what we going to do. Here, you know what I'm saying, wisdom kick in. And now it's like that problem has now become a solution. You feel me? So continue in verse 23, it says, for the Lord will plead their case and take the and take the life of those who rob them. Verse 24, do not associate with a man given to anger or with a hot-tempered man. So it's just keeping your distance from foolish people, keeping your distance from people that's reckless, from hot-headed, no matter how much they seem like an asset or a benefit, no matter how much it's like, oh, but I just love them. You know, yeah, they crazy and they pop off, but man, you gotta see what is beneficial for you in these relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? And really, this is just a proverb. This is just wisdom that, people that are hot-tempered and angered, them are just people that you really want to steer away from the most. But sometimes we don't have the knowledge or the wisdom to recognize a person who's like wrapped up in that. So don't associate with them, or you even will become more like them. You are who you hang with. You are what you dedicate your time and energy to. Because then it says, following that in verse 25, so it says, do not associate with a man given to anger or go with a hot-tempered man. Verse 25 says, or you will learn his ways and find a snare for yourself. So you will become like the person that you are really trying to avoid to be like and won't even know it. Verse 26, do not be among those who give pledges, among those who become guarantors for debt. I wrote a note here. Seek the Lord's counsel. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take your bread from under you? So just basically saying, like, don't put yourself in situations to where you're going to owe people. To where people, remember we just read that whoever lends, whoever receives from the borrower is slave to the lender. So this is the same thing. Don't be among those who give pledges, meaning like don't be a person who finds yourself where now you owe somebody or they have one up over you. Because then it says if you have nothing which to pay, why should that person take bread from under you? So if you already have little, and what little do you have, if you owe somebody or if you're indebted to somebody, then they can just take even what you don't have. Verse 28, do not move the ancient boundary which your fathers have set. And our last verse, do not see a man skilled. It says, do you see a man skilled in his work? So that's a question. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. What that's saying is the Lord will position you in places of honor. He will bring you in front of people of high esteem, of great favor. So that's why it says, do you see a man skilled in his work? Whatever skill God has given you, whatever talent, whatever creativity you have, when we apply that in service to the Lord, then he will bring us in front of kings. He will bring us in front of leaders. He'll bring us in front of decision makers. And notice it says in that last part, it says we will not stand before obscure men. I mean, we won't stand before people that don't have no influence or no type of power per se to give you room to operate in your gift. So real simple scriptures today, day 22. So we just, some stuff is just real basic. Like everything don't have to be like dumb deep. Some stuff is just like, allow your mind to interpret, allow your mind to be able to decipher and discern. But really what we're doing is we're just building a stepping stone and a building block, getting closer to God and closer to just having the wisdom of God. So appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. It's been a blessing to be able to just just get in the word, man. Just have this. You gotta understand, like, God is pleased by even the smallest things that we do toward him. You know what I'm saying? And in honor of him. So I'm just wanting to be better servant, just want to just be better for people. You know what I'm saying? For my family, kids, and this helps me. So I'm like, what better way? Let me share what helps me with others. So with that, man, I pray, this morning that you have a blessed day, that God keeps you guys in perfect peace, that when situations and trials and tribulations come your way, that God will give you the strength, the wisdom, that you'll apply this knowledge and just trust God, man. Like, lean on him with your problems. Lean on him with your your discouragements. Lean on him with your issues. Hey, love you too, cuz. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that encouragement. I'm telling you, like, you can't go wrong trusting God, because why? He will never fail us. He has never forsaken us. And, you know, we've experienced things where it's like it could cause your faith to be crumbled. It can cause you to, you know, to question. And it's like, don't question what you can't answer. Just the way I look at it is just watch and wait for the proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, your faith will be tried, like, especially when you're really trying to get closer to the Lord. Like, the enemy turn up, but shoot, when he turn up, we turn up even more. And God got you. God has you covered on all angles. So let's get it. Let's have a productive, blessed day. Speak truth, live in your truth, and expect great things. Speak great things, and God will take care of the rest. You know what I'm saying? God take care of the rest. He got you. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day. Let's get it.